Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. My name is Christina. I'm the Communications and Marketing Manager here at NYLA. So welcome to today's NYLA webinar entitled TikTok at the Library, sponsored by YSS, which is the Youth Services section of NYLA. This is a 1-hour webinar presented by Katie Smith, who is a Teen Services Librarian of the library. So a few housekeeping things before I turn it over to Katie. Please note that this webinar is being recorded and will be made available on our webinar archive at a later date. The slides will also be available at a later date as well. If you have any questions or comments throughout the presentation, feel free to utilize the questions or chat functions throughout the presentation. We will revisit these questions near the end during the Q&A portion of the webinar. Also, if you're having any technical issues during the webinar, please feel free to chat me directly using the chat function. So that's all I have. So enjoy the webinar. We're going to turn it over to Katie.
All right. Hi, everyone. I am Katie Smith, the Teen Services Librarian at Wood Library. I am so excited to be here today. It's kind of wild that we're going to talk for an hour about TikTok. So let's get to it. Let me just hide this really quick. So I'm trying to shrink my own face down there. There we go. Okay. So let's talk libraries and TikTok. So what we're going to talk about today, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Wood Library, just so you kind of have an idea of about us, what TikTok is, why we use it, why we joined, how to connect with your community if you decide to create an account, how to create some content, and then you and I are going to make a TikTok together. Well, I've made it already, but you are going to watch the screen recording of me making one. Hopefully you'll see how simple and easy it can be. So let's get to it. But first, I want to remind you guys, I don't know if it's just me, but sometimes when I leave these webinars, I get a little blue because we're on the smaller side of the library. So when it comes to deciding whether we're going to take something new on, it's always like, I just don't think I can manage it. But we are all awesome by just attending today. And even if you guys decide you don't want to create a TikTok for yourselves at your own libraries, I hope that you guys will take some of the information that I give you and hopefully apply it back to some of the social medias that you guys have at your library. And I made this just for you guys. Oops, let me start it over for you. And if you haven't seen a TikTok before, congratulations, you just watched your first one. Big day. All right, so meet Wood Library. So we serve about 25,000 people in Canandaigua. Staff size is about 30. We have 8 full-time staff members. We have 4 librarians. So there's our director, our children's librarian, our adult services librarian, and myself, the teen services librarian, and the rest are part-time staff members. For our social media, so we've had our Facebook since 2008, which we've always been very active on. We've had our YouTube since 2008, which we have not always been super active on until the pandemic. We had posted some videos in the past, some other things, programs that we had done, but it wasn't regularly used until we kind of had to. We have had our Twitter since 2011, which again, we haven't been super active on our Twitter, but we are starting to dust that off and use that again. Our Instagram, we got in 2014, which we do use regularly, and our TikTok in 2020. And we are located right off Main Street, and here's a little video of our library. All right, so what is TikTok? TikTok is a video platform. They are short videos up to 60 seconds that can be created within the app itself. So you don't need any additional software to make your TikToks or anything like that. A lot of us have those apps now just because of everything else we've been doing. And I do occasionally use those. You can also do some minor editing, add different effects or filters, and add music to videos, again, all within the TikTok app itself. Just like most social media platforms, videos can have hashtags and a caption. And this is what makes TikTok so special. The app has a For You page, or the FYP, and a following page. So the FYP is a curated selection of videos that appear based on the videos you like or interact with. Then, like many other social media accounts, you follow certain accounts or individuals, and they show up on your following page, so you can keep tabs of the people that you want to follow. So the lingo, like I said, the FYP is the For You page. TikTok is an app unlike any other one I've kind of come across in social media, because like the world of it is just crazy. So like I said, FYP is For You page. I'm on Blank Talk is the videos you mostly see on your For You page. So you'll say like, I'm on Book Talk, like those are the videos you mostly see, or I'm on Home Improvement Talk, etc., etc. Content creators, there's somebody who makes videos on TikTok for money. It is a thing. They are part of the Creator Fund, which we don't need to worry about, but again, it might just be something you hear. It's a program through TikTok where content creators make money depending on how many views their videos get. The app itself is free, totally free. I pay nothing to use it, you pay nothing to use it. That is just part of TikTok's business plan. So why we joined TikTok? But first, I kind of want to back up and tell you a little bit about myself. So I'm the Teen Services Librarian. If any of you are youth services people, you know how delicate the teen program can be. You kind of get your regulars and you're constantly trying to build on that. But in 2019, I had a huge graduating class of seniors. I lost 8 of my seniors. They graduated and went off to college. And so 2020 for me was already going to be a rebuilding year. So I was going to be getting to know some of the younger kids that were part of my program. We were going to be trying to, get some new kids involved and really get them on board. And then, so I went out on maternity leave the first or second week of January of 2020, and then didn't return to the building until June. So I kind of had this panic scramble of trying to figure out how to stay connected to the kids that I was already in touch with and I knew, and I was trying to also branch out and let other kids know what was going on at the library. And so when everything shut down in March, I kind of had this crazy idea. I was like, we should join TikTok. That would be pretty funny. And then finally in April, we did join. And I wanted to connect to teens on the platform that they were using. I wanted to make them smile. If you work libraries, period, like not even just kids, you know how hard this last year has been on for certain populations, from the school-age kids to the elderly. Everyone's been isolated. Everyone's just had such a rough time. I really just wanted to make them smile. As a youth services person, I am not afraid of looking like a fool or making them laugh with or at me. So I really wanted to do that. In sharing information, I take this analogy from my friend actually. So you have to like take the fruit smoothie and hide your vegetables in there and then feed it to the kids. Like, we're educators, but the kids don't realize we're educators as public librarians. They think, I'm just Katie and I'm a librarian. They don't necessarily know what that encompasses. So when I have to let them know some important library information, I have to figure out a way to dress it up so they take it. And TikTok has been a great way of doing that because the videos are quick and I can just kind of find something fun, package it up for them, and then put it out there, and hopefully they get it. So how to connect with your community. You decide that you want to do a TikTok, you're at ground zero, 0 followers, 0 following, and you are trying to find your people. What I did, so when you're posting your videos, again, like same with Instagram, same with every other app you may use the popular hashtags on your videos so they appear on that For You page. So if the kids are watching those popular videos, that's what's popping up on their For You page, which means that's where you want to be. So we'll put some of the popular hashtags on there. And this is what I did. So I found a few of my teens and community members I recognized, and I went through their pages, I followed them, and then I scrolled through and I looked for kids' names that I recognized, and I followed them. And they usually followed me back because they know that we are the library and we are in their town. And that way, that's like how I built up like our core following of people on TikTok. And that too, and it's nice because when you scroll over to that following page, you will see those kids pop up on your page, so you can kind of keep tabs of them as well. Sharing your videos to other platforms. So when you upload your video to TikTok, you have the option to save it to your device. As you may have seen in those previous few videos that I showed you guys, there's a little watermark on there that floats around. It says TikTok, it says @Wood Library on there. And when you upload that, people will see and they'll be like, oh, I'm on TikTok. What else could the Wood Library possibly be posting about? And they'll go to our page and find us that way. We primarily upload our videos to Instagram. Some of the things don't always translate over to Facebook. That's not where a lot of my population is right now. So sometimes people get it, but sometimes they don't. So on Instagram, you may or may not have noticed that there's a new feature on there. So you see that white box that I've highlighted. That first box is your feed, which is your photos and everything else you post. This next box is Instagram Reels, which is the TikTok of Instagram. The thing with these are you can only upload 20 seconds. So if you have a long video, you're not going to want to upload it on to Reels just because you won't be able to post the whole thing. It'll get cut off. But the short, funny ones, you can upload on there. And this is nice too, like I said, because it's short and it's quick and they're funny. They're not always factual things, but it's something to keep the kids interested and keep us present in their minds. But also on Instagram is IGTV, which is that next box over, and that's for videos over 60 seconds. So you see I'm mostly on here all over the place. And this is where we post like a lot of our craft videos, and you'll see some of the other things I had done previously. I'm gonna have you guys all make note that this calendar craft is on our IGTV, because we're gonna talk about that in a little bit. And that last box on there is the photos that you're tagged in if you didn't remember. So how to create content and not have it take over your job. One of the all-time things that we struggle with. I will say really quickly that for the most part, I will make a bunch of videos in one morning. Like I said, I have a screen recording of making one. It moves kind of fast at the end of this presentation, but I'm going to pause it and talk to you guys about it. But yeah, so I'll do a couple and just save them, and that way I just post them like every couple of days. This isn't something you have to do daily. It's just, again, you have to use it to stay present. So I view TikTok with different types of content in mind. Like this is how I categorize them. The first type are duets. It is a video where you are splitting the screen reacting to a video. So this first one I'm going to show you, this is actually one of my teens, Brennan. He's a freshman this year. He did this last spring, I believe. So let me show you this. So he was excited because we had interacted with it and we had reshared his videos, so he got more views and likes on his stuff. And it also shows that, you know, I'm still showing interest in the things that he's interested in, and he's just so much fun. I love him so much. This other one is a popular book talker on TikTok, and like I said, sometimes we know things in that book bubble that other people don't necessarily know. This one I thought was just kind of interesting, and I really felt it as a youth services person and someone who reads romance for myself, but I thought it was funny. So again, that was just something that I saw and I spoke to me and I just wanted to repost it, so that's what we did. Next time is type as a stitch. It's using a portion of another creator's video and then commenting afterwards.
What's one thing that people say in your profession pretty much always a lot?
You know, for us, it's mostly what people say to us, and it's that we must love reading all day. Spoiler alert, not all librarians read outside of work for books.
I mean, I feel like you guys can speak like you feel that. I've gotten that so many times. A lot of my friends are even like, what do you do? Like, are you reading all day? And I'm like, no. So yeah, that was one that I had done for stitching. And this is probably what you're thinking of the moment you've dreaded, because when you think of TikTok, you think of the dances. You think you're gonna have to dance, you think you're gonna have to do something. I'm pretty sure I've only danced once and it was just for something silly. It was not a choreographed thing. But there are other trends that appear on the app. So the way I define a trend, it's different videos or actions that gain popularity over a few weeks. It could be a dance, action, or the use of a sound. So this first video I'm going to show you was popular last year. It was before our library had reopened and we were only allowing one staff member in the building at a time. And also with some of these videos, you can get really involved with them. Like it can take up a lot of your time. And so for this one, I was like, I'm going to give myself, I think it was like 45 minutes to do everything. And at the end of 45 minutes, I am just going to finish and like, I'm just going to do it wherever it's at. So this is the wipe it down challenge.
Wipe it, wipe it, wipe it, wipe it down.
So again, the idea was that when you wiped, you saw another world, and when you wiped back, it went away. That one was really fun. I actually filmed that in I learned an easier way to do it, and you'll actually see it in that screen recording, but I had recorded that whole part with me in the sweatshirt first, and then I cut in the middle with the video of me in Hogwarts. This other one is a popular sound and a filter, and the caption on it was, when you're shifting books, everyone feels this struggle, I think.
What's poppin'? Don't mind me just watching.
There's always that book at the back of the shelf that's just hanging out by themselves, no matter how often you go through them. And like I said, the eye and the mouth filter is something on TikTok. I didn't have to download anything to make that happen. It's all within the app. You just have to know where to find that. And these are more for me personally. So a digital book list. You may have noticed in that video I showed of the library, our library is actually 3 floors. So our first floor is our circulation, our large meeting rooms, which are currently being used for COVID related things, and our children's library. Our second floor has our public computers, our adult collection, and our teen scene, and a door to Main Street. So our door to Main Street, when you walk through it, our teen scene is directly to the right when you walk in. And right now it doesn't have a lot of traffic. I was doing monthly book displays, but like I said, I was not getting the traffic in that room, and I wanted kids to still have access to the books that they needed. That's part of the reason that we all do what we do. So using Canva or movie editing software, you can create a slideshow of books. So this first one I made last June for Pride. I made a bunch of different videos for this. And I made this one in Microsoft Photos. And I did make that title image on Canva, but now if you have Canva, it is amazing. They've really stepped their game up, and you can now make like videos within the app itself. And I made this one for April.
There's a hope that's waiting for you in the dark. You still know you're beautiful just the way you are. And you don't have to change a thing. The world could change it for you. No scars, see you're beautiful. The stars are way beautiful.
So I made that entire thing on Canva. It was really easy, and it's nice because like before I would just download like that title screen and then upload that into Microsoft Photos. iMovie also works, again, if you also have an app on your phone that you've been using regularly for video editing and such. But it's been really nice to just do them all through Canva. And then I also have access to them because we're all working on multiple computers right now. So it's really nice having access to those videos anywhere I am. And craft videos. So like I said, there's that calendar craft again, it's come back. So what I typically do is I record my whole craft, you know, as I'm doing it for my demonstration, and then I go through and do like one video that's 2 or 3 minutes. I'll do a voiceover. It's at like real time, so it's not sped up or anything like that, and showing them how to do the craft. That's what I post on IGTV. That is the video you saw on that page when I was flipping through ours. And on TikTok, I do like a super cut. I cut it down to up to 60 seconds and add some music to it. And it's just another way of like, I feel like a lot of kids don't even necessarily want to watch 2 or 3 minutes. Like they just want to see it. They don't want to listen to me talk. They just want to see the actions, and then if they can't figure it out themselves, they'll watch the longer video. So this is the supercut. And actually something kind of fun about that one of my colleagues in the Monroe County system, I'm part of the Pioneer Library system, I don't know if I mentioned that, she saw this video and had asked about it, so I sent her the files I used, and then they used it for a staff craft morning. So that was also really fun, off of this video that they saw. On this other one, this was the video for the craft. It was really easy. It didn't need any other explaining other than this quick video.
Random lighting change. We love it. 4, 4, 4. 4, 4, 4. Working with glitter is so stressful. Please out foamware, glitter.
So that one got like a ton of views on our Instagram. I had made, I believe, 10 of those, and how I typically do the crafts are you sign up, anything that's left over I leave out. And I had 10 sign up like almost immediately, so it was over a break week, so I made 10 more and they were gone like that day. And so that was really awesome. Okay, so how to do some of the things that I'm talking about. So it's actually funny, this is a debut author. I believe her book either came out today or last Tuesday, her YA book, but I was scrolling through our TikTok and she's the video that popped up first that I could duet. So If you are interested in duetting or stitching a video, this is what the video looks like as you're watching it, and you'll see there's a circle down here with an arrow. So if you click on that, it brings up the menu on that second photo. So you see at the top here, I can send the video to other accounts. There's a couple library friends on there. You can send it to a different app. You can share it that way. And then down here, you'll see in the red box, you can duet or stitch the video. Now, you can't always interact with the video this way. Sometimes they have it turned off, and you will see where that option is in a moment. And then when you click duet, it brings up this screen, and right now it's black because I had it on my table, but it'll be your face. And you just hit record and go from there. And when you stitch a video, it's very similar, except it asks you where you would like to cut in, like have their video stop and have you start talking. So it's very similar. Okay, a couple tips for videos. So at the very top here, you'll see add sound. So that's where you add your sound or music. I recommend saving your sounds. I believe you'll see where you can do that in a moment. I also send a bunch of sounds over from my personal page to the Wood Libraries page. Again, you'll see that in a moment. And that's the thing with this app, you really have to use it. Like, you can't just have your library account and like pop on and like just create something. To see the trends and to find sounds that you want to use and to see what other people are doing, you like have to take the time like in your lunch break or have a couple staff members that are in charge of the account. Right now, I'm the only one on it. A few of our staff members might be interested in joining me though. And so you have to kind of know what's going on. This timer feature is super handy. It allows you to select where you want the audio to stop. And it also gives you a 3 or 10-second timer before it begins recording. You will also see that in action when we make our TikTok together. At the bottom, you can upload your pre-recorded videos. So if you make a book list and you want to share it, that's where you upload it. And also over here, I forgot to make an arrow, but there's the effects feature. That's where you're going to put like the eyes and the mouth on any object you want. There's a ton of those. I barely have dipped my toes into the effects feature because there are just so many. So the book list, like I said, on Canva, there is now an option for a size for TikTok video. Last year I had to like manually size it myself, so it's super handy that they have this now. And they also have some pre-made templates that you can use for your title page or whatever it is that you guys want to do. There's like a million uses you could use for this. I'm sure I'm just scratching the surface with these book lists, but it's been awesome so far and very, very handy. Like I said, the effects, eyeballs on the face, or eyeballs on the books, things like that. And Google and save sounds. I am constantly Googling things to try and figure out what they are. Like right now, like this is a thing, like you make this face, you go, and that is a thing. I didn't know what this was. It's apparently from a basketball player saying you have ice in your veins. So if you see that on TikTok, that's what that is. The face, I think that just came from a funny trend. And so I have to Google things all the time, and I save sound. So as you see, this is Wood Library's chat box from my personal account. And I send a bunch of things over, and as you can see, it's so handy. I don't include any thought. Sometimes I have these brilliant ideas. I'm like, oh, like we can do this and this and this, and then I send the sound over, and then a couple days later, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make a video, and I have no idea. So pro tip, I'm still trying to adapt myself. Send a little note with the sound you're sending, just saying like, oh, we could use a puppet from the children's library and do something silly with that. Like anything other than just that. A couple things to consider as you're posting. Language. Listen to the audio. Listen to the audio over and over. Some of them are really fast, some of them are slow, some of them are in funny voices. If you're really being careful about strong language, for me personally, I do make sure that there isn't anything too explicit on our page. just for what I feel comfortable with. And like I said, sometimes it's really sneaky. I had this moment of panic afterwards when I posted something, but everything was okay. Appropriation, we are all educators that are learning about this as we go. We're very aware of it, but some trends that take off on TikTok shouldn't necessarily be done by everyone. That video, the very first video actually in this presentation, it was to Don't You Forget About Me. And it actually, when that trend originated, it was to a different song. And I didn't hear much about it, but I found one video that had just said that some people didn't necessarily like that was being done. So why couldn't we just use Don't You Forget About Me? And for me personally, I was like, sure, that works for me. And so that's what I did. We're not perfect. Sometimes we may slip up, but it's just, again, you have to use the app and you have to kind of keep tabs on what's going on. Watching other videos. So if you find a sound that you're interested in using, and maybe you're trying to figure out how you want to use it, you want a little bit more inspiration. You can actually see in this photo over here, there's, a little circle at the bottom. And if you click on that, it will bring up all the videos that are used by that sound. Sometimes the sound can be linked to some inappropriate things. So if that's the case, you might not want to use it, or you still could, because what are the odds that it could pop up in a different place? And if you're looking for audio, which is like the struggle I also feel sometimes, scroll through the hashtag you plan on using and attaching to your video. You can often find appropriate songs that way. For instance, that video I made for April for Sexual Assault Awareness Month, I had searched through that hashtag, found that song, and I'd also scrolled a couple more times just to make sure, see if a couple more people had used it, and they had. So I felt comfortable using that. It seemed like a good fit. For the Pride video, I'd actually reached out to one of my big kids, which is what I call my college kids, who is in that community, and asked them to send me a bunch of songs that would be appropriate for a bunch of different videos for Pride book lists, and she did. And so I felt better knowing that it was someone within the community telling me that this was okay for me to use. So that was also a big relief. So working with your kids as well. Okay, so let's talk. So I had made the screen recording of making a TikTok. I'm gonna kind of pause it because I do move a little fast in some places. I didn't mean to, but let's go. Hello, there I am. All right, so I hit that add sound feature at the top, and you'll see as the sound bar pops up here, there are these little tags next to them. That's how you save a sound. So then you're gonna see I'm gonna toggle over to my favorites. I found the one I'm interested in using, and again, I saved a bunch of other things that I probably didn't remember why I wanted to use them. Just why sending yourself a note is so important. And again, so now I'm clicking on this timer feature. You can kind of see my actions on the screen, but they're really fast. And it tells you up here that the sound is 13 seconds. And down here, you'll see that you can record for 60 seconds or 15 seconds. And that is important because you cannot toggle after you've already started recording. So if you want to make a video that is 1 minute, as of right now with this iteration of the app, you have to select 60 seconds or else it'll only record 15. If you select 60 seconds and you only record 15, that's fine. So I'm selecting where I want the sound to stop. I'm going to do that again, select timer, and select where I want the sound to stop. And again, I'm not going to do anything with this one. This was the tip I wish I had known for the Wipe It Down challenge. And I'm going to do it one more time. And so then I'm going to select this check mark down here at the bottom, which advances you to like more of the editing options. And I hit, whoop, let me see if I can back it up a little. I'm so speedy this day. So up here, you'll see there's another filter option, adjust clips, voice effects if I had a voiceover, and the voiceover feature. For this video, I'm going to be selecting adjust clips. And it brings up the 3 different clips I took. And I'm going to retake that second one. I'm going to hit the check mark again. Hit the check mark again. And now I'm going to add some captions. And sorry guys if this offends anyone, but I did hate reading when I was a kid. And so as you can see on the text dialog, there's that text to speech, set duration, and edit. So if you recall back to my glitter focus bottle craft, the text was speaking. So that is what that text to speech option is. Adding closed captioning is very important for accessibility. And the text to speech is also great. You don't have to have that on all the time. I have heard that TikTok is also starting to roll out a closed caption feature within the app itself. It's only available right now to some of the very popular creators. And I don't know if I preface this by saying, like, I've never gone viral or anything like that. That's not necessarily why I joined this app. It was to reach out to our community and even to some like you guys, my library community. There's so many libraries that are on there now. So yes, just wanted to make sure I said that. So right now I'm selecting how long I want that text to appear on the screen. And I'm going to add more text for that second clip. I'm going to select the duration again, how long I want that to appear on the screen. Kind of glitched out here when I was trying to figure out where to start and stop it. And then once more for that third clip. And then all together. And then I selected next, and this is the editing screen right before you post. So you only have 150 characters to write a caption and add hashtags to your video. So I said sometimes people fall in love in reading at their own pace. And I added a bunch of different hashtags. Down at the bottom there, you can see who can watch this video, everyone. It is public. You can make videos private. And now I'm adding my hashtags. I usually always add Canandaigua in there, not necessarily because I think a lot of my teens are like following that, but just because it'll pop up in any community things. You'll see these ones with the blue check mark are the ones that are trending right now. So I do libraries of TikTok. I did one of those popular ones that's going on right now, even though it crushes me because it's not necessarily the video that it's like intended for, but that's just how it rolls on TikTok. And you can see I hit my max, so I had to delete my exclamation mark. And then you see over here, it says select cover. So like right now, this is what would appear on our feed when you scrolled through it. Now I'm trying to find a good spot where one would land, but I didn't have a good resting face in this video. It's something I'm still working on. So I did kill the sound in this because it does say the same bite over and over, like only those 2 seconds. So I decided I didn't like that either. Didn't want Yelling Katie. So I just added one of these text boxes and just added that over my video. Some libraries or accounts in general will use those features just so it's easier for people scrolling through. So if you're doing like book lists, you can say book lists, Pride Month or whatever. I'm just going to stretch that over my face because we don't want Yelling Katie on there. And so, like I said, who can see this video? Everyone. I am going to allow comments on there. You can turn that off. I am allowing someone to duet it with me. Not that people usually do, but they can. People can also stitch it. And then I'm also going to be saving it to my device when I post it. And then down here at the bottom, you can automatically share to a couple different accounts. Sometimes I would share it automatically to our Instagram, but now that I use Reels, if I'm sharing it, I'm a little careful of how I'm doing it. So if I'm sharing it to Reels, I post a video on TikTok, upload that saved video because it does include the sound and everything. As you saw, that's how I got the videos in this presentation. And share it to our story through our Instagram, where if it's a longer video, I'm not going to post it to IGTV or anything like that, but I still want Instagram to see it. I will hit that Instagram button and it will share to our story. So it's available for 24 hours. And then, as you may know, there's that feature to highlight a story or add a story to your highlights on your Instagram, so you can save it and people can watch it at any time. I haven't done that for TikTok just because they can find those videos over here. So a couple things to remember. If you're creating this, you need to have fun with it. I really like this sound.
What's poppin'? Don't mind me, just watching.
And no, you are not mistaken. That is a cardboard cutout of myself. Our library director had those made for Library Giving Week of the 3 librarians. So we have one of myself, our children's librarian, and our adult services librarian. And they were highlighting the fundraiser we were doing for Library Giving Week. And I had a couple videos with Cardboard Katie. She was a big hit. Involves staff. So this, as you can see on this video here, there's a little white bubble on there. That was a comment that was actually left on our calendar video. And you can reply to your comments with videos, or you can just like reply with a text. I wanted to reply with a video, so it says, "Oh my God, this is my local library on my FYP too. Could y'all get any cooler?" And I was like, we absolutely could get a little cooler.
Every little thing that I do, damn it, I'm feeling so cool. Yeah. Woke up feeling like a new day's beginning. Comb my hair like you know Bruce.
And those are most of our full-time staff members. I don't usually necessarily harass our part-time staff just because, you know, they're busy. We're full-timers. I don't feel bad including them in with my shenanigans, but people love seeing other staff members other than just my face on these videos. And that was so much fun. I literally ran around and I was like, "Do you have sunglasses?" They're like, no, or yes. And my children's librarian is Mary Ferris, so of course she has some wacky glasses upstairs in our attic and storage. And so she came down with a couple, and I gave them to people that didn't have them. And I was like, I just need you to like work, and I just need you to turn and like nod at me. And they're like, oh, okay. And so it took me like a couple minutes to get everybody. It took them just a minute or two to do the video itself. And this person commented again on this video and said it was really funny and got a big laugh out of it. It involved the community. So like I said, I went out on maternity leave in the beginning of 2020. I worked very closely with our middle school library. I hosted book club with them. And so the last time I saw them was 2019 until I did this video. And I'm not gonna lie, I definitely hugged the windows of the middle school building. And I'm very lucky that they are outside because we are not permitted to go inside yet. And that was just really funny. I sent that to a couple of our big kids who had Mrs. Styroff and Mrs. Sick as their librarian and the aide, and they got a big kick out of it. And they were not at all surprised that I hugged the building. But in the future, when we are doing in-person programming, we are opening up for that again in this summer, outdoor programming. I do want to include the teens in more videos. I want to get them like on there and have them create stuff themselves, just getting more staff members involved. That's where I want us to go from here. And so if anyone has any questions, anything like that.
Hello. Thank you so much. We do have a few questions that came in.
Cool.
First, let me just scroll up. We had just one comment that I figured I wanted to read to you. Katie, your TikToks are great. You're very expressive, and I love watching your facial expressions. This is Bernie from WAL.
Oh, thank you.
So now questions. So Katie, this is from Anne. Do you just use your phone for filming videos? What is your setup? Tripod, selfie stick?
Sure. So I do use my phone. I have a Pixel. We do have staff members here that have iPhones. We've done those in the past. I have a tripod. Like this one, actually, the screen grab from one of my videos is in our teen room, propped up on some books. Also, some of the videos in the teen room, I use the shelves as a tripod. If I'm here early enough, I'll do those in the morning. We do have a ring light. That is helpful for some of the craft programs just to make sure everything is well lit. And yeah, I haven't used a selfie stick, but I mean, obviously, if that's what's available to you, we have all gotten very resourceful. But mostly I try and find good light and not throw off my phone's white balance.
Awesome, thank you. Another question we have is, do you need to post videos to TikTok in order for them to save to your phone? Wondering if it's possible to use TikTok just to create videos to then post on other social media sites, Instagram, but not have a TikTok account for patrons to follow.
Sure. So you could, if you just want. So we actually have a staff member here that like she's used our TikTok account a couple times, but just wanted the sounds for it. So like I showed you guys in that walkthrough, that first bar, it's like, who can see this TikTok? Everyone. You can make that private. There are some walkthroughs you have to do to get the watermark off. I know it's possible. I haven't done it, but one of my coworkers has. She found an article online. And then she reposted it to our Facebook and our Instagram. But yeah, so you can create videos even if you just wanted to use the sounds. But like I said, you just have to figure out how to remove the watermark. Mm-hmm. You could also mess around with Instagram Reels. Like I said, that is like the TikTok of Instagram. I haven't used that as regularly, just since we do have TikTok. I use that and then post to Instagram. But I know a lot of authors use that. A lot of authors are on TikTok now as well, as you saw that one debut author is on there. But a lot of the authors that already had established Instagram accounts just kind of moved over to Instagram Reels when that was made available.
Awesome, thank you. So when filming the staff videos, how do you go about doing that to include in the video? Do you record using your phone camera, or do you use it directly in the app and edit while gathering the videos?
So for that staff video, I did record it just like a video on my phone because I had them do it a couple times just to like make sure like I got one they were happy with. You can just record it within the app itself. Sometimes it just gets a little hard if you're working with multiple clips, like the video I had showed you. So I had to go in to that second clip and reshoot it and then save that. So if you're working with multiple ones, you really just have to make sure you're selecting the right one. I use InShot for my phone for editing, for videos. That's what I use for my craft videos and the supercuts for TikTok. But I had just taken those clips of the staff members all nodding at me, and I just spliced those down and put them together on the separate app. But you can do it all within TikTok.
Awesome. Who tends to follow your account the most? Is it just the teens?
So right now I've had like a huge boom of libraries follow me. Like I said, like a lot of libraries are hopping on right now, and it's great because then you can see what they're doing and like you can kind of feed off each other. I do still have, it's mostly teens to college age that are following, like that I know following me. I do have a couple of the like millennial followers, and they do, a lot of them interact with the videos. And I do just have like some people out of state. Like I posted our craft for May is going to be like a Star Wars paper craft, and it's like, it looks 3D. And so I posted the completed sample I had done with the light behind it, and someone was like, I don't live in New York, but I wish that my library did this. And you know, I do get a couple of those, and I think it's neat just for people outside of your area to know that, oh, maybe my library is doing something like this. Like I don't live in New York. I don't even know how to say Canandaigua. I don't know what that scramble of letters is, but maybe my library is doing something similar. So you could be driving people to their libraries from your videos.
Yeah, that's a good point. Another question, I have many questions. So you mentioned how Instagram sort of has its own TikTok feature, but I was wondering, have you heard about, or do you have any thoughts on YouTube Shorts, which I'm told is something, which I'm told is their attempt at the same thing?
Ooh, I haven't yet. I'll have to look into that. No, I haven't messed around on there yet. And you know, it's funny because a lot of my videos, since I shoot them vertically, only end up on Instagram. They don't necessarily travel over to our library's channel on YouTube, just because, you know, like our YouTube doesn't necessarily play well with the vertical format. It makes it very small. But I'll have to look into that. I have not heard of that yet.
I haven't either, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
Are there any copyright restrictions with songs that you choose for your videos?
Yes. So it's not necessarily like my fault personally, but if you are using the app and you select a sound, there's one that is no longer available. I can't remember which one it is now. So my video is still there, but the sound is gone. So I believe it was like a Hamilton song, and it wasn't uploaded by like the Hamilton organization, the people. So yes, you will find that, and sometimes like the creator of a sound can just delete it. So it's not even necessarily a copyright thing. It might just be like I'm feeling chaotic today, so I'm going to delete this sound. And so that does happen. But typically they're just taken down, and it's nothing against like yourself personally.
All right, awesome. When that happens, like, have you ever had to re-upload a video, or you just let the video stay how it is, just without the sound?
Yeah, so you can re-upload it because, like I said, it does download audio and all when you upload it the first time. I've had to do that occasionally, like with the app just being wonky in itself. I've posted a video, but it hasn't actually like posted, so I had to upload the saved version. But no, like by the time I had found that video, the one that we had made was right before Hamilton's release on Disney Plus last year. So we were just kind of promoting the fact that we were in fact wearing gloves at all times when handling items at that time. And so I didn't re-upload that one. That one was kind of just an old video and I let it just hang out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Another question is, do the videos you post stay on your feed permanently, like an Instagram post, or do they disappear after a while, like an Instagram story?
They are permanent, so they do stay on there. You do have the option, like I had mentioned with that other question, you can make a video private at any time. So if you decide, or you can delete it also, but if you want to save it, you don't want it to be public anymore, you just go, actually you can kind of see it here, these three little dots, it should take you to that menu. And if you scroll over, it'll say like privacy settings or something like that. And you can change it to private so that you guys can still see it. Anyone with staff access to your TikTok account can still see it, but it's no longer available for the public.
Got it. And our final question is, if we have Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, do you think we also need a TikTok as well?
That's a good question. And I mean, I'm gonna say that it's really up to you as the library. Like I said, for me personally, you know, we're a smaller library and I decided to take this on just because I felt like a lot of our people, like the people I wanted to reach, were on that app. But if you feel like you have a good following on Instagram and with Twitter, like I said, we are not that great with our Twitter. Like we are getting back to it, but we kind of just let it hang out for just a while. And I think it was getting fed like our Facebook posts and possibly our Instagram posts. But yeah, if you guys just cannot handle one more thing, like I said in the beginning of this presentation, you can just take some of these like tips and tricks. You can use Instagram Reels. You can try that YouTube Shorts. Like I'm really excited to go take a look at that when this is over. But you don't have to use this app in order to connect with your community. Like you can still do funny, like quick videos yourself. Like we were doing that before this app existed and post them that way.
Awesome. So those are all the questions. I just have one other nice comment that I wanted to read to you. So this is Jim from the Pittsford Community Library. Just wanted to say Wood Library is near the top as far as local social media goes. Thanks for inspiring creativity and for all the information today.
Oh, thank you. And I want to like shout out to all you guys because like I feel like that's a thing we all do as libraries. Like we kind of do like the grass is greener, but you know, we have a lot of libraries that we follow. Like we're on your mailing list, like we get your newsletters and we're all like, oh, do you see what they're doing? Oh, one thing I did forget to mention, a library program I did in the past, I actually had this thought like last night, was called 60-Second Stories. It was before TikTok was a thing. It was something that we had done, we've done it a few years. And it was the program where teens came in, the library was closed, and they just made videos in the library after hours. And the idea was that you made a video up to 60 seconds. Towards the end of that, they wanted to make longer ones. So we made the Real Librarians of Wood Library. That one was like 10 minutes and it is on our YouTube channel. But I was thinking, I was like, oh, I should find those old videos and upload them to TikTok because some of them were just like, they're silly, they're funny, but it was a really great time making them.
It sounds so fun, especially the Real Librarians of the library.
That one, it was really funny.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Katie, for doing this. This is so informative.
Yeah,
everyone says thank you. I've been getting a million comments saying thank you for being awesome.
Thanks for coming.
And as I mentioned in the beginning, this was recorded and will be available at a later date, and so will Katie's slides will also be available. And yes, thank you so much for attending. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye.